This is the place where history is made. Coliseum to which all the roads lead. The theatre of cyber gladiators. This is the stage where players come to find out who they are. To prove everyone that their efforts were not in vain. To capture the world's attention and build a legacy. Welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters Grand Final.
We are back here at the Intel Extreme Masters going into game number 7 with Stats versus TY.
It has been the closest, most evenly matched series, perhaps in the history of StarCraft II. These two are meant to play against each other, Tasteless.
We have never seen such a range in a TVP. Proxies, rushes, all-out macro games. And by the way, in TVP, it's insanely difficult to actually get that far along and have that much of the map occupied, and the stuff they're doing is incredible. All right, guys, let's get hyped. Let's make some noise in the bottom right, in the red, our Terran player, he is TY! And his opponent here in the upper right, in the blue, our Protoss player, make some noise for Stats!
Everything is on the line right now. The IEM World Championship, Tasteless, as well as a spot at BlizzCon, as well as $100,000. And this means so much of both of them. TY has been a professional gamer for around 10 years and finally won his first tournament this year at WESG. Stats, on the other hand, he has been a pro gamer for a very long time as well. He keeps getting to the round of 4, to the finals even at IEM Gyeonggi, but hasn't been able to take one home yet.
And if he manages to do that here, he would finally achieve that next milestone in his career. He's always somebody who gets deep in tournaments. He's always somebody who's managed to beat champions. This could be his moment to actually become one.
That is exactly what he wants. He does not want to be one of these cursed players that gets so many second places. TY, on the other hand, he'd like another 100 grand in his bank account, Tasteless. This guy is becoming rich this year off StarCraft II.
We have for the 2 build orders a quick Nexus as well as a quick command center. The Reaper now headed northbound to try to scout out and find the starting location here of Stats. He will be fortunate in the sense that in a 4-player map of the 3 spots he could check, it'll be the first location he looks at.
That's right, sending it directly north, and that's going to be nice to tell him exactly what's going on, but a mothership core and an adept on the way, so he's not really going to be able to find any serious damage coming up.
If we can pan out for a second here, assuming this Reaper doesn't do any damage, because both players are on the right side of the map, if we do go to late game, and we've seen that a couple times from these 2 players, it will be a struggle for both the Protoss and the Terran to try to expand to the left side of the map. The farther you get out in a Protoss versus Terran, no matter which race you are, the harder it can be to secure these expansions. Warp gates or proxy pylons warping in units, medevacs hitting over there. So it's possible one of these 2 players tries to avoid that scenario. Maybe they're not comfortable with it and go for a quicker game, a rush game, or it's possible they say, I feel very confident in a situation like that, bring it on.
Yeah, it very well could be. In this map, a lot of the times we do see those kind of long, drawn-out macro games because it is such a long map to attack your opponent. But look at this from TY. It looks like he might be going for Ravens, Tasteless.
All right, he's getting Ravens coming up here. This has been used a good amount, especially in the late 2016 and now early 2017 StarCraft II meta. You can use that Raven to get over here, chuck down an auto turret, take out some workers, as well as using it as a detector. We've already seen that Stats has favored some of these robo builds, initially getting out observers there to check for medevacs. Now, if he gets the Raven out, pokes on the map, he doesn't have to scan to kill that observer. He can instead land more mules, possibly getting a bigger economy, and maybe even pushing in the late mid-game.
This is one of the most frustrating things that can happen to you as a Protoss player, and he has his Marines waiting because he knows exactly where the observer will come. Look at this, but Stats, he accepts that something like this could occur. He's actually changing. Look at that.
The mind games already. He's outmaneuvered it, and he's gone around. He's gotten inside the base. He's going to get the scout off.
This is the level of these players that Stats dodged what he knew TY was capable of. This is madness in game number 7.
So the observer comes in here, scouts exactly how the production rate is going here for TY, and there is the threat of a possible mid-game rush. Back over here in the base of Stats, if we can get a shot of that in the north up here, we see he is going for that Colossus tech. He's got his mothership in a pretty decent position, and he's turtling for the time being, trying to get that army sophistication so that he can actually fight TY in the middle of the map.
Well, we might see a very strong push coming out of TY, even getting combat shields very quickly to tank for his army. A lot of siege tanks coming out, 3 of them. In fact, this looks a lot like the push that we saw in Belshire Vestige, but a lot faster. He hasn't gone for double Hellion Harass. He hasn't gone for the double Widowmine drop. What he has gone for, though, is that quick Raven, which can block a lot of shots and deal a lot of damage with auto turrets as well.
And Adept coming around here to the side is going to knock this SCV out of the game. We will see the center of the map and possibly to the left of that utilized by both sides to keep small numbers of units over there for possible counterattacks as well as poking and scouting.
Right now, the third base being taken by Stats. But, oh God, the push is coming from TY. This is such a powerful attack coming up. Of course, the third Nexus is pretty far away, and a nice poke here, actually, by Stats.
Already bruising some of those units, and I do not believe that TY is going to slow down. He is going to continue to head northbound right now, using the Liberator and leapfrogging the siege tanks.
Oh, the siege tank's picking off some of these important units right now, but at least he has bruised some of the Marines. We don't see any medevacs with this army yet, so any damage he puts on those can't be healed.
The Colossus is low on shields, as well as losing some of its HP. He's beginning to crawl in here. Now, he's already cut the circulation from the third base and the second base in half, and that means Stats is going to try to go and take him out. He's moving in, microing that one wounded Colossus back. The Liberator remains in the game, and it is finally taken out, but not after Stats has lost too much of his army.
TY's push might be too strong here. He pushes forward, re-sieges his tanks. He's attacking this natural. Still one Colossus left. This is the lifeline of Stats. He has to get a lot of damage done.
I don't know if he can get these 3 tanks that are covered with the Marines and the Marauders. He could get both Nexuses in this short period of time. 3 Marines hitting the third Nexus, everything else hitting the second. 2 Colossi in position, and the Nexus will go down.
Both Nexuses are going to fall for sure. A bunker on the way. Stats biding his time. He knows that to suicide means nothing. He's got to shade forward here with these Adepts. He's got to find some way to break out.
As you see Stats come down, TY repositions into an even stronger foothold further back, actually hoping that maybe he, oh, hold up, he's gonna try to push in right now. Widowmines connect. I don't think there's anything that Stats can do as his army vaporizes it, and that is GG!
TY taking out Stats with a brutal push in game number 7. Just fantastically played by Arcturian.
He's managed to do it. TY is your Intel Extreme Masters champion!
TY, after over 10 years of playing StarCraft, you first became a champion in January. And now today, nearly 2 months later, you have become a StarCraft II champion once again here in Katowice. What are you feeling right now?
일단 10년 넘게 스타2 선수 생활을 하면서 1월 달에 이제 드디어 우승자가 됐는데 6개월 거의 이제 지났는데 또 우승자가 되셨어요. 지금 기분이 어떠세요?
사실 요즘 이렇게 게임이 잘 풀린다는 생각이 들 정도로 게임이 너무 잘 돼서 너무 행복하고 10년 동안 게이머 생활을 했는데 이번 연도가 가장 최고의 한 해인 것 같아요.
He says, lately I'm just so satisfied with my gameplay. I just feel like everything is working out just the way I wanted it to. So it feels so good to be put out games like this. And I've been a pro gamer for over 10 years now, and I feel that 2017 will be my year. Now, TY, in the grand finals, you went up against Stats, a player who was your teammate for over 3 years on KT. You lived with him, you practiced with him. Going up against someone you know so well, how difficult was it to play against him?
이제 결승전에서 김대엽 선수와 만났는데 김대엽 선수와 3년 넘게 같이 팀 생활도 하고 같이도 살았는데 그만큼 얼마나 더 어려웠나요?
김대엽 선수가 3년 동안 같이 지내면서 너무 잘하고 훌륭한 선수인 걸 알아가지고 굉장히 힘들다는 생각을 했고 충분히 풀세트 갈 거라고 예상했어요.
So after living with Stats for over 3 years, I've known what a great player he is and how skilled he is at this game. Facing him in the grand finals, I already knew that it was going to go all the way, that it would be a full set as he is such an amazing player. Now, TY, last question for you. You've shown us such amazing games throughout this entire tournament here at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. What do you have to say to all your fans around the world?
정태현 선수 일단 경기력을 너무 대단한 경기들 많이 보여주는데 팬들한테만 한마디 해주세요.
일단 경기력이 좋아서 굉장히 만족스럽긴 한데 이런 식으로 이런 좋은 경기력은 항상 팬들이 원동력이 돼서 많은 응원을 받아서 원동력이 되는 것 같고 앞으로도 많이 응원해 주셨으면 좋겠습니다. 감사합니다.
He says, first of all, I'm so happy that I was able to show you guys such great games, but I think I'm able to do so because you guys continue to cheer for me, and that means so much to me. In the future, I'm going to continue to work hard and continue to show you guys the great games that you deserve, so thank you so much. And with that, once again, your Intel Extreme Masters champion is TY!
Can you help? Fantastic scenes here from the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. A momentous occasion for that man right there as he cements himself in the history books for StarCraft II in what was an amazing final. Possibly one of the greatest of all time here in StarCraft II. What a victory, boys.
Yeah, TY just came through the door, guns blazing. It was a very even series, but in that last game, he figured out Stats completely. He was like, you like to go Colossus, I'm just gonna go for tanks and kill you, and it worked out very well for him. We're very early into the year. This guy has already made $300,000 and qualified for the Global Finals. It's a hell of a year already for TY.
Yeah, on the real, James, I totally agree with Todd. These games were just sick. Like, every game could have almost gone either way, maybe except for Belcher. I could talk about these games for an hour, but...
And here is Vladimir Bayarin, the Vice President of Katowice, awarding the players with their medals and congratulating TY as well as Stats for their amazing performance there. Obviously, TY really solidifying himself there, just making an amazing showing here in the grand finals. Fortitude, dedication, perseverance, everything came through there for TY to show that he is an absolute world-class champion.
Yeah, he had it all, James. He really had it all. He had great builds, awesome execution. I really think he made great adjustments as well, playing against somebody like Stats. Even in the first game, you know, he ends up losing 25 SCVs. You look at his work account, he still has 50. He knows about the adepts of Stats. He knows they will do damage, but he was just so smart, so prepared.
That trophy suits him. TY looking victorious and standing victorious. 76 players entered this tournament. and he stands atop all of them. 100,000 in the bag, guarantees himself a spot at BlizzCon as well down the line, and that means he is the first player to guarantee himself a spot at BlizzCon. That's a huge thing, Todd.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of guaranteed prize money with the shape that he's in. If he can stay in this kind of shape, there is still a lot of tournaments to come in the year.
And of course, Cliff Morgan here, the CEO of G Fuel, awarding TY with the G Fuel MVP award. After, I mean, who can blame him for being the victor? Absolutely amazing showing throughout the entire tournament long.
Yeah, he was. He had a great run. Kind of rocky in the group stage, but he still made it. He was never in danger of being eliminated. The quarterfinals, he had to dig real deep, but he was able to get himself out of there. Semifinals were great. Finals, just fantastic. I mean, we can talk about these games for a long time. The first thing I'm going to do when I'm home is I'm going to watch them again, James. That's how good they were.
I think he needs to buy another suitcase, considering now he has 2 massive trophies to take back with him, because that is a lot of extra baggage there. But rightfully so, being the champion here for the Intel Extreme Masters. You know, at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice, we haven't had, you know, those very, very close grand finals. This one trumps absolutely every single one of them. Just a massive, massive event.
I think, yeah, it made up for all the previous ones, really. You have to feel for Stats, though. He had such a great route to the finals, loses by 1 map.
Yeah.
And this is a player also who just made 2 grand finals in a row at the Intel Extreme Masters and lost in both of them to a Terran.
Yeah.
But TY just was too good here today.
And of course, Stats walking away with $45,000 as well, getting himself a lot of WCS points as well, Rotterdam.
Yep, and I still think he can be very proud. I mean, obviously you need 2 players for a great finals, and if you compare Stats, his PvT, to what he showed us in Gyeonggi just a couple months ago, that's insane. That doesn't even look like the same player. He got so much better. I truly love the games. Obviously it is heartbreaking, but there can be only one. Today it is TY, but there is a very good chance that next time it will be Stats.
Look at him taking in the marvel of everything. This massive crowd here in Katowice. You guys were champions as well out there. Thank you very much for your dedication to the cause, as obviously TY getting himself the championship. We're almost done here for StarCraft II. A huge thank you to everybody that's been here along the ride. A huge thank you to the casters, the commentary team, as well as the observers and the staff in the back that are producing everything. They are the magic makers here. For now, though, that does it for us here in Intel Extreme Masters Katowice for StarCraft. In just a few moments' time, we'll have Hardwell, a world-renowned DJ, bringing us the intro to the Counter-Strike Grand Finals.